alternative video game programme, viewers should prepare themselves for games-related jokes, nonsense and general hijinks.
On today's show, I dogfight for real in a coffin-sized plane. Metal Gear Solid faces up the Splinter Cell. We take a look back at the making of Earthworm Jim, and we kick off the world's first professional virtual football tournament. Hey viewers, welcome to my brand new show. Today I'm helping out my mate at his fruit and veg stall. I'm selling double entendres by the pair. Now this is your show as well, although technically I'm the only one that gets paid. So I'd like you to write me letters. Here's one that we made up. Dear When Games Attack, how do I finish the train level on Splinter Cell Pandora tomorrow on the Xbox? From Ahmed Harazi. Well Ahmed, we've actually started the When Games Attack Tips hotline. Yes, it costs £400 a minute. We've got a lovely little automated menu system that will get you to the tip you want in under an hour. And remember, don't get permission from whoever pays the bill. They're probably too busy. You know, the Japanese don't always produce games full of flawless perfection. Sometimes they're so balmy and quite literally rubbish, it's a blessing they're 6,000 miles away. So let's salute the little fellas today with our top 5 worst games that should never have ever left Japan. At number 5, it's Ka2, Let's Go Hawaii. If the bad guys in this game are insect-hating sadists, then you can figure out who the good guys are. Yes, from the country that brought you economic instability and intelligent toilets, it's a mosquito-playing game thingamajig. Your job is to fly around and suck blood from different mosquito-hating families. But careful where you bite them though, because if you nibble in the wrong place, they'll wake up and challenge you to a fight. This game may be original, but it doesn't stop it being barking. At number 4, it's Love Smash 5. The sight of female tennis players fighting with rackets should tell you all you need to know. If this is the Japanese take on women's tennis, they should stay well away. Love Smash 5 strips women of their regulation tennis uniform and forces them to play in clothes woven in a pervert's dream. The ladies themselves have obviously been missing their lessons. They're rubbish. They either spend their time being hit with flying balls or falling over like a bunch of girls. Later in the show we'll reveal who's in the number 3 and 2 berths in our top 5 games that should never leave Japan. Hey, don't film my nuts. You know, running a fruit and veg stall is a marvellous profession. You've got the early starts, the cold wet mornings, the rude customers, and the prospect of a supermarket coming along and destroying your whole lifestyle. It really is marvellous. Let's find out about some other people's chosen careers in today's Behind the Game.
There's a lover in my life. He sends me gifts and flowers.
My name's David Perry. I'm the president of Shiny Entertainment based in Newport Beach, California. At the time we were listening to REM on the radio playing Shiny Happy People, and so we just thought we'll call it Shiny. The first game we made was Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim was about a character that was this worm who was a regular worm, and out in space we have this intergalactic battle fighting over this incredible suit, which the person who has this suit controls the universe kind of thing.
Whoa, this love in my life.
One thing that I think made Earthworm Jim work was there was no rules, but we could basically do anything we wanted, and we realized it's fun to beat up the character that you're playing. I'm not sure if Nintendo, when they first looked at our game, they probably thought, what are these guys on? Like, what are they doing? I mean, this thing's crazy. But the fact is, it definitely seemed to strike a chord with gamers who were used to playing games that weren't funny. Earthworm Jim won lots and lots of awards. It won Game of the Year, and as a result we ended up getting lots of other deals which we hadn't expected. So instead of taking somebody else's property and putting it into a video game, we took our video game and licensed it out to other people. That was a pretty new thing for a developer to be doing at that time. The thing that really was most exciting looking back at Earthworm Jim was that I was the lead programmer of the very first Earthworm Jim game. I sold Shiny to a company called Interplay. That was a mistake because ultimately I lost control of Earthworm Jim when I did that. So for me, it was a kind of a sad thing because I went into management, and the world of management is horrible compared to programming, because when you're a programmer, you have, you know, people that appreciate what you're doing. When you're in management, everyone hates you, right? So I went to the dark side of the force and I stopped programming, and you know, I look back very fondly on those days. It was fun to actually feel like you're achieving something.
Scoured the Premiership and the Championship in search of the best Pro Evolution players to stage the world's first virtual football competition. 8 pros have to compete through group rounds and knockout stages until one of them has earned the right to be crowned the When Games Attack Football Champion.
In Group A, we've got Alexis Nicolas and Darren Curry from Brighton, ex-England pro Lee Sharp and Watford Scott Fitzgerald. Unsurprisingly, at this stage, everyone's bereft of points.
Hi ho folks, it's match 1 in our ginormous football challenge. We've got Lee Sharp against Scott Fitzgerald. I'm going to kick off with Lee first of all. Sharpie, welcome.
Thank you very much.
The legend that is Sharpie. Let's talk about the Sharpie Shuffle first of all, one of the greatest goal celebrations ever. How did you come up with that? Did you like think, right, I'm going to get the corner flag, I'm going to deliberately do a mic thing? I didn't just come to you?
No, it's all sort of off the cuff. I think I'd done it 10 pin bowling or something the week before, so it seemed like a good opportunity to do it again.
You are playing as England, so presumably you'll tear off into a 2-0 lead and then blow it all in the second half.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully not. But I know that the Italians are a bit defensive, so we're going to have to break them down.
Yeah. Some good players on here. Wayne Rooney, just about the best player in Pro Evolution 4. I guess you'll be wanting to get the ball to him a lot.
Oh, definitely. We'll have to feed the Rooney man and see what he can do for us. Yeah.
You're playing against Scott Fitzgerald. Scott, a bit of a fairy tale for you, of course, because you came rather late to football, didn't you? Tell us your story.
I did, yeah. I was playing non-league and managed at the age of 23 to get into the pro game, and made my mark last season at Watford, so just continuing on with it now.
Okay, well, so it's Italy against England. It's going to be a full kind of fixture. Join us after the break to see the denouement, especially if you're French.
Before that though, there's just time to catch up with numbers 3 and 2 in our top 5 games that should never leave Japan. At number 3, it's the Dane Bijin. We're not going to judge this game, we'll let the facts speak for themselves. An alien gremlin / crab looky-likey descends from space and bites an innocent bikini-clad girl on the beach. She falls into a deep sleep and wakes up the next day to find, naturally, she's grown into a 300-foot-tall uber babe. As a member of Japan's Special Forces, it's up to you to destroy her by piloting a helicopter and distracting her with loud dance music and a delicious giant cake. We said we wouldn't judge this game. We lied. It's obscene. At number 2, it's Mobile Suit Gundam AUG versus Titans. We've put this in for a couple of reasons. Firstly, for its ludicrously long-winded title, and secondly because, well, quite frankly, we're sick of this whole giant transforming robot genre, which seems to be ludicrously popular in Japan for reasons unknown to us. The problem is the robots are just dull, and we'd rather watch a bunch of old men fighting outside a pub, which I'm going to do right now. Join us in part 2 to discover the number 1 game that should never leave Japan. Coming up in the alternative video game show part 2, me scared in a plane, the worst Japanese game ever, and Splinter Cell taking on Metal Gear Solid. But first, it's time to join Stevie Morgan in the commentary box for our football challenge, Lee Sharp's England versus Scott Fitzgerald's Italy.
Cheers, Dominic, and it's England who get us underway, playing in the traditional red, white and blue. Now, as commentator, it's my role to be completely impartial. But that's going out the window today. Come on, England! Stop the eye ties! They're on the attack at the moment. Who's going near him? No one! Oh, and my word, David James forced to make a save. Yes, folks, you heard me right. David James made a save. But now England on the attack, and it's the Italian defence that have stopped them. And Lee Sharp knows that the expectations of a nation rest upon his shoulders, but at half-time, it's 0-0. Look at them both, getting poised, getting ready and focused for the second half. And of course, given Italy's war record, if England were to take the lead, then we could probably expect most of the Italian side to change teams. So we could end up with an England side consisting of 22 players. Oh, that was an outrageous tackle on Beckham. And Lee Sharp knows that this is a golden opportunity, and Rooney skies it. Oh, Lord. There's still everything to play for. But it's Italy now, running down that left flank. Who's going near him? No one! Don't be frightened of him, for goodness sake! He's like a hot knife through butter! But James! I don't believe it! They said it was a controversial decision to put David James in goal, but he's earned it. Now what can Rooney do? Nothing! Sharpie, get your act together! But once again, it's the Italians forcing their way through that England defence, and David James didn't have to move a muscle. Lovely stuff. But again, another Italian attack. And the England players have all of a sudden turned ball shy. You heard me, ball shy. But that is no way to clear a ball. That's better. Textbook football. And that's the final whistle. And it ends with Lee Sharp's England 0, Scott Fitzgerald's Italy 0.
Well, as 0-0 draws go, that was a pretty good 0-0. Lee had a great chance with Rooney.
Yeah, it was a shame he just didn't pull the trigger a bit earlier, really. I thought he had a good chance, but yeah, not a bad performance first game.
Now, Scott, I think even Lee would agree that probably Italy had their better share of the chances. Zanetti threw twice, 2 massive runs from deep in his own half. Why didn't you pass when you were in the box?
Well, he just saw a few gaps there, you know, and he carried on running through, and unfortunately just lost a bit of composure. As I say, he should have given it to a striker, really, who might have been able to finish them chances.
Having had your first game though, do either of you feel you could go all the way in this tournament?
Well, we're going to look to improve, but it's a steady start and a good foundation, so we'll see where we go.
Yeah. And how do you fancy your chances, having had your first game under the belt?
Yeah, it's early days, but you never know.
It's early days. Why doesn't anyone say it's late days? And if we look at the table, Lee is the top by dint of alphabetical order, both of them on 1 point, no goals scored yet. It says Lee, then Scott. If it had been Scott, Lee and we had Lisa first of all, we'd have steps. That would have been really surreal. Okay, match 2 follows in the next show.
One says black, the other says white. One says left, the other says right. They say never can agree. The Xbox PlayStation people need sleep. I should cook their fuse to their last pretty and
Howdy viewers, and welcome once more to Head to Head, where we take 2 games from the same genre and compare them in... I'm sorry. Excuse me, ladies. What are you yakking about? You found something under my bed? Oh, and you brought it here. Well, let's have a look then. Oh, I don't think we need to see that now, do you? But I will have you know, I only bought it for the articles. Go to your boxes. This week, it's a pointlessly long-worded game special. Cuddly is opting for Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, and Queenie's weighing in with Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. Round 1. Graphics.
Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty offers realistic character animation with action-style body movements and detailed facial expressions. It's clear the designers wanted to make this sequel look as real as possible. The key to Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow's impressive graphics are its lighting effects. Sam Fisher's stealthy goings-on through the light and shade create an effective atmosphere of mood and intrigue. But which one is the best?
63% of the 100 gamers we surveyed said Metal Gear Solid had better graphics than Splinter Cell. Round 1 to Metal Gear. 2 rounds to go.
So, the dim-lit grey and green tones of Metal Gear Solid just pipping the dim-lit grey and green tones of Splinter Cell, which means Queenie takes round 1. Round 2. Story.
Sons of Liberty tells an ambitious and complicated story about secret organizations, governments, soldiers and terrorists double-crossing each other in an attempt to control all human knowledge. Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow has the kind of high-concept plot usually reserved for Hollywood blockbusters. It's your job to take out a terrorist who has to make a phone call each day to someone somewhere, or else a biological plague will be released across the globe. But which is the most gripping scenario? 76% of you said that Pandora Tomorrow had the better story. Pandora Tomorrow takes round 2. One more round to go.
Unsurprisingly, after round 2, Cuddly draws level, basically on the grounds that nobody alive understands the plot of any Metal Gear Solid game. So, the final deciding round 3. Gameplay.
The hide-and-seek gameplay defined in Metal Gear Solid 1 is largely unchanged in the sequel, but there are some improvements. Now you can sneak past enemies by swinging beneath them and use a first-person mode for greater accuracy in firefights. If anything, Pandora Tomorrow involves even more lurking and sneaking than Metal Gear. Patience is absolutely essential, as the gameplay mercilessly punishes the reckless or impulsive. But which game plays the best for you? 67% of our survey said Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow had the better gameplay. Round 3 goes to Splinter Cell, making Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow today's winner at 2 rounds to 1.
Congratulations, Cuddly, coming from behind to win today's head-to-head 2-1. But where's Queenie the loser today? Oh, there she is. That'll be the forfeit. Cuddly, do you want to do the honours? Go on, you've earned it. See you next time for another head-to-head.
Time now to reveal the number 1 game that should never leave Japan. First, let's look back at the other contenders. At number 5, it's Ka2, Let's Go Hawaii. Why, oh why? At number 4, Women's Tennis Gone Bad, Love Smash 5. At number 3, 50-Foot Pish in the Dane Bijin. And at number 2, Metal Morons in Mobile Suit Z, blah 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 blah. But the number 1 game that should never leave Japan is Yoshinoya. Only the Japanese would package what in reality must be soul-destroying work into a game full of excitement and action. You are a lowly restaurant worker who must serve Yoshinoya, some kind of noodle stuff, to a relentless stream of hungry customers by pushing the required button at the required time. If you're too slow, the customers fly into a fit so furious their heads swell up and you'll incur the blinding wrath of your boss. Yoshinoya Takes the Noodle has the most bizarre, questionable Japanese game we can definitely do without. Now, we import some fruit from America. We get oranges from Florida, plums from New England, and idiots from Texas. Time now to pop over to America to feature fruits of a slightly different kind in today's feature. In video games, there's a lot of simulation of running around, driving around, flying around, shooting. But what's it like for real? Well, today we're going to put a small orphan in one of these and find out. Unfortunately, that small orphan is me. Air Combat in California specialises in a unique kind of aerial paintball. The tiny stunt planes are dual control, so the instructor does the takeoff and landing, but other than that, they never touch the controls. Great, if you're feeling suicidal. Feeling good? Not so scared now. I adopted the flight tag Juvenile for the fight, and my opponent was my producer, who was looking even less frightening than usual.
I no longer feel like making a call time now. Yeah, let's meet 8 tomorrow morning. No, I don't think so.
What we're doing today is combat. It's the real deal. It's as real as it gets. Life and death stuff. Literally, from the time the fight starts to the time the kill happens, 20 seconds, jumping out of the airplane. The official call would be bail out, eject, or if you happen to notice that the instructor is already gone.
I am absolutely terrified. I don't think I've ever been so scared of anything in my life, to be honest. Added to the fact that obviously Dooley, who I'm flying with, is obviously crazy.
But he looks perfectly normal.
Ready to fight? Ready to kick some?
Yeah, ready to kick some.
Let's go.
Some butt. Okay.
Combat involved a best of 3 dogfight with hits indicated by smoke canisters firing from the target plane. Now remember, I'm the only one touching the controls here. The basic strategy is pick up speed and try and get behind your opponent, but doing this requires a series of gut-wrenching manoeuvres.
Now just watch him. Now bring your nose up and fight on. Oh! Now look at him. Watch his airplane. It's real important. Oh, you got to turn toward him. Okay, buddy. Now I want you to bring your stick back toward you. Keep your eye on him. Where'd he go? Right there. Now back to the left. Fight on.
I quickly discovered that moving the plane's joystick had an altogether more dramatic effect than the one attached to my PC.
Only look at him. Oh!
True to form, while I was getting settled, my shifty producer came at me from behind.
I think he's about to kill us. Oh yeah, I hate to tell you, ladies.
First blood to the boss.
Next time we're going to be a little more aggressive, see if we get ourselves a kill here, okay, bud? We're going to come in with the nose down, a little bit of speed, nose down. We're going to bring the nose up and bang toward you. There we go, keep turning left. We'll let our nose back down. Now, get some speed, bring your nose up and kill him right now. Kill him, nose on him, gun sight, tracking, guns, whoops, guns.
Get it right up here, one each.
Okay, ease your stick a little bit. We're going to come back down. Watch him only. Only his airplane. Ease your cheek just a little bit. Now bring your nose back up. Okay, keep it right in there. Track it. Guns. Keep it on him. 20, Mike, right into his canopy. There's his roll. We've got him. Keep it coming down now. Nose coming down. Down. Smooth. A little bit of right stick. It's smoke. Good kill. I think I may have myself. Give me a high five, bro. Okay, we're all done. Head home.
If we had a Top Gun trophy, we'd give it to you.
You've been too kind now. I may have beaten my producer 2 kills to 1, but like a true pro, I was modest about my victory.
Bend over.
Well, what have we learned today, kids? Basically that no amount of playing flight simulations can prepare you for the sheer physical trauma of G-forces. Unless, of course, you play Chuck Yeager while your best friend punches you in the stomach. On next week's experiment, I'll be leading a squadron of crack space marines onto the planet Halo. For real. Well, that's it for today's When Games Attack. I'm off home with a banana for the wife. See you next time.
It's everything you'd expect, isn't it? Like a postcard of the dramatic Cornish coastline. But I'm headed that way, back to a village that I first saw some 4 months ago. With Christmas approaching, I'm going back to Boscastle, where people are preparing for a festive season that, truth be told, some thought they'd never see. It may be raining again, but the people of Boscastle are getting ready for the annual Christingle service. It's a chance for families to get together, to retell the Christmas story, to reflect on the year gone by, and to look forward to the future. And let's face it, the people here have more reasons to be thankful than most. Just imagine those houses, these shops, this road, all of it simply vanished under a torrent of water. Now, in the next half an hour, we're going to be talking to some of the people caught up in those events and listening to their story. But first, we've asked Nick Witchell to look back on that day and remind us of what happened.
Oh, the house is moving. Oh my God.
It was a tragedy which came out of a summer sky.
I think that's an insurance job.
On the afternoon of Monday the 16th of August, the hills of North Cornwall were deluged with an astonishing 8 inches of rain. The equivalent of double the average monthly rainfall fell in just 4 hours. The trauma had begun. Down in Boscastle itself there was turmoil. Torrents of water had cascaded down the river valleys which lead straight into the heart of the village. It's estimated that at the height of the storm, more than 100 tons of water a second were pouring into Boscastle.
Well, there's a tree coming down.
They brought with them vast quantities of mud and vegetation.
Oh my God!
And swept away scores of cars.